Hey Envoys, Kato here, with a guide to Avowed, this time going over all of the fragments of Starmetal you can find throughout the game. So if you're here because you picked one of these up and spoke to a blacksmith and they were like, well, I can't work with it, maybe someone else, I do plan to help out with that too. There are 4 Starmetal Fragments, 1 in each main zone, which I'll be showing by order of progression, like normal. And not only will I be showing you where to find them, but also who is able to work with Starmetal to craft you something awesome, and what those weapons are like after they've been crafted. But first things first, let's go get you that Starmetal. Our first fragment of Starmetal we're going after is, of course, going to be in the first zone, Dawnshore, in a smaller location known as the Godless Altar on the southeastern side of the map. This is not far from the gate to the Emerald Stair. And there is not much to this ruin itself except a few Zaryps guarding it, but after clearing them out, you'll be able to grab your Starmetal fragment right off the table in the center. The next Starmetal fragment we're going for is in the seemingly always overcast Emerald Stair, and this one is actually a few paces from the party camp in the Rolling Crags area, on the northeastern side of the map, in a spot called the Damp Burrow. This is a place where a lot of things can kind of happen all at once depending on how you decide to explore it, but there is a decently sized cave you can walk into underneath the house here, either by walking through the basement or the giant hole in the side of the hill. But once you hit the cave floor, there should be a Starmetal fragment down here ready to be picked up. And if you're looking for a two-hander, I hear the Pargern Way Station to the south might have something of interest if you haven't been there yet. Now we are on to the third of these Starmetal fragments, heading on to Shatterscarp, the third zone of the game. And this one is found in a little bit of a tucked away area, probably the most well hidden actually, in a location called the Abandoned Mine. If you have taken the road past the ancient lake bed into the Thirdborn area, when you get to the Thirdborn Oasis, you want to then turn north along the cliffs here to find the entrance to the Abandoned Mine, which can be easily missed, especially depending on the lighting, because the best marker for this entrance is a large fossil on the wall that tends to blend in. But once you do find the entrance to the Abandoned Mines, you can begin your ascent on the northeastern corner, breaking through wood barricades, climbing ladders, blowing up some barrels. We don't need no safety measures in this abandoned mine. So once you've parkoured up to the top of this cliff, you can then go along the outer rim, jumping the small gap in the middle, and continue following until you're facing Thirdborn. And right there, under the shade of a tree, is where you can find our third Starmetal fragment. And if you didn't already see it a few paces back, there's a destroyable rock wall that may have some unique footwear behind it. For the fourth piece of Starmetal, of course, we're going to Galawain's Tusks, the fourth zone of the game, and into the Ash Forest, which is in the northwestern corner of the map. If you start at the Ash Forest beacon and simply go west following the road, you'll then come to a broken stone bridge. And just simply looking north, you'll be able to see what looks like a crater, surrounded by a couple curious enemies. Take them out and you'll be free to grab the Starmetal that is in the center of this crater, where certainly nothing happens whatsoever after you grab it. I'm sorry, something does happen, but I want to leave it a surprise. Now that you have all 4 fragments of the Starmetal, let's go over what we can do with it. As you could probably expect, by the time you get to Galawain's Tusks, Solace Keep is where you want to go once you have the Starmetal to work with. The location with the ridiculously easy to understand layout, because the blacksmith is down the stairs directly behind the statue of Nandru that is the centerpiece of Solace Keep. Speaking to Forge Master Della down here and asking him about the Starmetal you've picked up will result in a passionate and lengthy, almost obsessive speech about how much he misses blacksmithing, which seems to be why he's doing all of this for you for free. But when you present the Starmetal to Della, he will give you 2 options, which you can make both if you have all the Starmetal. Option 1 is the Meteor Blade, a unique one-handed sword that comes with the Freezing Lash effect, which allows hits to deal plus 10% bonus frost damage, and the enchantment called Lamenting Flurry, which says a full combo attack gives the hit enemy minus 20% damage for 15 seconds. This enchantment can be upgraded into Crashing Tide, which simply upgrades that enemy damage nerf effect to 40% instead of 20%, or changed to Tidecaller's Revenge, which says a successful parry deals high stun and frost accumulation to nearby enemies. But I don't know if this is based on shield parries or parries just with the sword. Option 2 is the Moonstrike Arquebus. This also comes with Freezing Lash, causing hits to deal plus 10% bonus frost damage, and the Ondra's Scorn enchantment, which causes power attacks to deal moderate frost accumulation to nearby enemies. This enchantment can be upgraded to Ondra's Anger, which increases that frost accumulation from power attacks to high to nearby enemies, or switched over to Lunar Champion, which says killing an enemy gives you a plus 5% damage reduction for 10 seconds. Now again, if you've collected all the Star Metal, you can make both of these, but after you have made them, Forge Master Della says that he can further refine the Meteor Blade or the Moonstrike into Ondra's Offense or Heaven Strike, respectively. Now initially I had thought that this was just a cosmetic change, making these weapons quite a bit prettier, but also re-rolling the weapons essentially and giving you a chance to change your mind on the enchantments if you wanted to. But these do also seem to be the only weapons in the game that have a unique boost to their damage, not following the same rules as all other weapon qualities. So while what we get at first is scaled to the damage of everything else across the board, Ondra's Offense and Heaven Strike seemingly get a damage boost that no other weapon can get, making all of the Star Metal useful if you're using both weapons. My finisher weapon just ended up being whatever Arquebus I could get my hands on that did the most damage, and it ended up being less work for me because Heaven Strike just scaled up to my legendary pistols when I crafted it. So now I open the floor to you. Which of these two weapons have you been playing around with the most now that you've been able to make them? I am still curious about the parry on that sword. If you're not tired of me just yet, I did do guides on the Totems of Avowed, as well as some tips and tricks you can find on the playlist on screen or down in the description. And if you found this useful, entertaining, or both, please do whatever you see fit to show that. And among the ways you can is by supporting on Patreon, like the shining stars on screen now, including Wasteland Legends, Rose, and Sven. Thank you so very much for watching. I'm Kato, and your expedition to the Living Lands awaits.